Hey guys, welcome back. Bolt Spider here, and today we're going to be going over a few deck breakdowns. So the first one is from the Carla Launches tournament that they had for the Remote Duel Invitational Qualifier. And as we can see, only 37 players participated in this. And when we look at the pie charts, we have 22 Tri-Brigade, which is the percentage, 14% Drytron, 11% Shaddoll, 8% Striker and Salad, and then 6% Eldritch Invoke, and then the rest. And when we look at the top 8 breakdown, we have 25% Drytron, which is 2 Drytron, and then the rest are 1 for Shaddoll, Sky Striker, Salad, Vanillite, Eldritch, and Orchist. So that's quite a big difference from what we've been seeing, because when we look at things like the NA side for their top 16, from the whole YCS, we had 3 Virtual World, 3 Tri-Brigade, 2 Prank Kid, 2 Drytron, 1 for Sky Striker, Phantom Knight, Dragon Link, Salamangreat, Mech Knight, Orchist, and Eldritch Border Dragoon. So we are seeing a lot of variety in this format, which is actually quite nice, but that means it's going to be very hard to decide for this format. And let's get into the other deck breakdowns that we have. We have the Luxury Championship Series, and the most decks that have the representation are Virtual World, Infernal Knight, Zodiac, which has 14 Pure, 5 Dogmatica, and 3 Eldritch. Then we have Dragon Link, 16 Prank Kids, 15 Eldritch, and Phantom Knights, 13 Dino, 13 Dogmatica Invoked, 5 Buster Blader, 5 Sky Striker. Now, it's weird not seeing any Tri-Brigade, which is normal, but we do see Zodiac, Dogmatica, Zodiac, Eldritch, which are very good variants of the decks. And when we go into the top 15, we have 7 Virtual World, 3 Zodiac, 2 Dragon Link, 2 Infernal Knights, 1 Dinosaur, 1 Dogmatic Invoke Shaddoll, which is very crazy of a contrast between the previous events that we've seen. Since where's Tri-Brigade for this? Did people just side in for them, or people did not play them? That is very, very interesting. And then finally, I do have some deck profiles from the Pro Play Games event that they did. And this has 2 Drytron, 1 Dogmatic Invoke Shaddoll, 1 Gizmech Luna Kaiju, 1 Tri-Brigade Zodiac, a Trap Trick Amazement, a Prank Kid, and an Eldritch Dragoon. So first off, we have the first place Michael Bond's Drytron list. It is just pretty much Drytron. First and second place lists are pretty much just Drytron, with a few cards differ here and there. Mainly, Michael didn't opt into playing Ash, while Jose played Ash and a few other cards like Droplets over Talents. But it is really all personal preference of what cards you really want to run that are not really necessary. Then we have the 2 top 4 decks. We have the Dogmatic Invoke Shaddoll by another Jose Ozrez. I'm probably butchered the name, sorry. This deck is pretty much marked down to a T, but the extra deck seems different from normal because they're running Triple Construct, Triple App Clone. I have never seen Double Construct, Triple App Clone before. And it's usually they run 1 of 1, 2 of the App Clone, but this time that they're running extras of them, I think just in case. And even though that they're running a nice amount of Shaddolls in the deck. Very small Dogmatica package, which is normal for this deck, and it's just engine on top of engine on top of engine. After that, we do have the Luna Kaiju Gizmech deck. As we see, it's Grand Maju, running Fairy Tail Luna, Dimension Shifter, a lot of Kaijus, and just normal generic things that you would see in a deck like this. Other cards to note in this, they're running Super Poly and all the Super Poly targets you can have. They run Cyber Dragon Nashter because Mega Fleet's a very good card, and it gets rid of one of your opponent's monsters in the extra monster zone, which is completely fine. The extra deck is completely standard for a deck like this. They run There Could Be Only One because they really don't have a card. They don't really have cards that share the same exact typing than one another. Summon Limit's also great because you're just sticking with banishing stuff for Gizmek, and also you have Grandmaju as a normal summon. Dangers are there to pop stuff or dig into your deck. Triple Desires, because this card is phenomenal with Grandmaju. Next, we have one of the top lists being a lovely Tri-Brigade Zodiac deck with Rescue Cat. People are catching on Rescue Cat OCG as well, which is quite nice. And I'm going to bring up another tab real quick before we can do OCG stuff as well. And this is pretty much what I expect Tri-Brigade Zoo to look like now. They're running 3 XYZs outside of the 4 because he's running Omega, and Extra Deck is super standard. One of the things to side note, he's running Contact C, which is also a very good card, citing the Zodiac Barrage as well, just in case if he needs to get to it faster. And then after that, we have Michael State's Trap Trick Amazement deck. I know nothing about this deck, but it looks very standard to me. He's running the Parallel XZ, so he can go into the XYZs that he needs. Usually you're going to summon out of Rafflesia or the Alamoras, but depending on if you're going first or second, it really, you have to utilize how things are. Some of the things that you could even go into are like Utopia and Utopia the Lightning, and then go up into a Zeus, because you're still going to have a 2 material Zeus afterwards. After that, we have Print Kids. Copy paste the deck. This pretty much looks normal of what it is. Outside of ASA, they usually run something like an access code or another link to, depending on how they run the deck. And finally, we have the Eldritch deck. Eldritch Dragoon. It's not Eldritch Border, but Eldritch Dragoon. Very standard, very, I would say, boring, since it's just your engine pieces. You have triple Red Eyes Fusion, triple Red Eyes Insight, 1 Magical Eyes Fusion, along with Skill Drain, Imperial Order, Summon Limits, Solemns, Torrential Tributes. And the side deck looks like he's on Lava Golem, Mistake, and Waking the Dragons. Waking the Dragons are usually there for bluffs for things like Feather Duster, Lightning Storm, which is completely fine. But those are the decks, and let's get into the OCG metagame, and let's see what they're dealing with. We have Virtual World, Print Kid on top, while Drytron, Tri-Brigade, and everything else is 7.5% or less. So let's see what there is that they have. We have Virtual World. On week 1, he went 7-1, excluding 1 bye, and finished first in his individual battle, which had 50 participants. Week 1 Sunday, he went 8-1, finished first place in the 8th championship, which had 52 participants. On week 2 Saturday, he went 7-2 and finished second in the No Face championship, which had 60. He initially ran 2 Dark Rule No More in the side on week 1, but switched it over to True Drone Lockbird on week 2, preparing against Drytron. So this is what their VW looks like. It kind of just looks like ours, but with a few less Virtual World pieces in the deck, because we max out on almost everything while they don't. They also still have the access to 1 VFD, so that must be quite nice. And let's go to the Print Kid player. Among the 10 Print Kid decks that made the top cut in these 2 weeks, 4 decks were running 3 Print Kid Pandemonium and 2 to 3 Polymerization. 5 decks were running 3 Print Kid Pandemonium, and only 1 deck was just running 1 Pandemonium. All of these shifts towards a more fusion style to Print Kids than the Link style. The main deck to beat in the current format is Virtual World. In Virtual World, QB Shenzhen shuts down Print Kid 1-card combo of using Print Kid's effects monsters to link summon Print Kid Mew Mew. Since Virtual World, QB Shenzhen only banishes cards that are sent from the field to the graveyard, using Pandemonium or Polymerization to fusion summon with the material from hand would allow Print Kid's effect monsters to reach the graveyard and thus be able to activate their turn. One of the possible outs to Shen Shen is to fusion summon Printed Rocket Ride using materials from your hand to the main monster zone right below the extra monster zone. Second main monster is fourth main monster. The two Printed effects used for the fusion summon would trigger to summon out and special summon two Printed monsters from the deck, which would be used to link summon Bow Wow Bark to the extra monster zone above Printed Rocket Ride. Printed Bow Wow Bark effect would cause Printed Rocket Ride to gain 1,000, allowing to attack over Shen Shen. That's actually one thing to really look out for. If you say, oh, I can't get over a Shen Shen, do this. Go and do this. This is how you pretty much stop Shen Shen. While the fusion summon or fusion style does enable some play against Virtual World Shen Shen, Virtual World still has True King of all Calamities and Virtual World Gate Chuche. Shen Shen reviving from the graveyard is also a recurring threat. Oregon, I probably butchered his name, went 5-3 and finished 4th in the Tokyo Championship. Compared to his build during week 0, he swapped one Droll Luckbird for one Ghost Bell and added one more Prankid place to the main deck. As Prankids become one of the more popular decks in the metagame, having 3 Prankid Pandemoniums provides him with the flexibility of Crossout Designator to negate it in the mirror match. And this is what they're pretty much going with. And it just looks like ours, but with Maxi. That's pretty much how OCG is for these two decks. It looks like ours, but without Maxi. And then finally, conclusion, VW remains comfortable in the lead, while Prankid's caught up considerably to his second position. Drytron continues to make strides in the format, moving up to third position, tying with Tri-Brigade. In the matchups between Virtual World and Prankid's, Virtual World has the advantage in terms of engine. Prankid's has a difficulty against Shen Shen, while Virtual World could answer Prankid's Battle Butler with Qinglong. However, the big deciding factor is who goes first, and Prankid's can rely on a generic tech card against the Virtual World. Despite being semi-limited, Gamma is still one of the strongest hand traps in the format, and is still seeing widespread play in many top decks. And if you want to look at past metagame breakdowns, head to Road of the King, because they always cover OCGs, just OCG in general with their metagames. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you want to see more coverage like this, hit that like button down below and comment down below to tell me what you think. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.